What's up, my creepy gang? Creepy here. We're back again with another video, and today we're here to talk about Margot Robbie's last ride as Harley Quinn. But before we get started, if you guys haven't checked out my last video, checking out my comic book collection part 2, the link will be in the description below. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell. I post almost every day, except Sundays and Thursdays. If you guys would smack that thumbs up button, it does help the channel a lot. But without further ado, let's get on with this video. Margot Robbie debuted her role as Harley Quinn in August 5th, 2016 in the Suicide Squad movie. Although the movie did not do well at the box office and people didn't resonate with some of the characters of the movie, the number one character that they loved in the movie was Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie's role as Harley Quinn was so enjoyable, was so fun. She made that role so enjoyable to watch in film. Her accent was spot on. The look for Harley Quinn was comic book accurate, was accurate to the Harley Quinn in New 52. She brought a new life to the character that we haven't seen Harley Quinn in a while. And ever since when she debuted her role as Harley Quinn in the live action movie Suicide Squad in 2016, there have been so many, kids dressed as Harley Quinn as Halloween, cosplaying Harley Quinn as Halloween, ever since she played that role in that movie. The movie didn't do well, but when she played her role as Harley Quinn, she killed it. Fast forward into August 7th, 2020. Margot Robbie's movie debut as Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey. Again, the movie didn't critically acclaimed do well in the box office, but again, the number one star in that movie was Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Even though when she played Harley Quinn, or aka Dr. Quinzel, in some of the movies that she was in, she was still the eye candy. She was still the scene stealer. Even though the movies that she was in didn't do well, you were enamored. You were amazed by the character that she played as Harley Quinn. She was a scene stealer. She made all the comedy jokes. She was so entertaining to watch as Harley Quinn. You didn't care about the rest of the other characters. Also, fast forward later into August 5th, 2021, The Suicide Squad, which did surprisingly well at the box office. Maybe some of the fan base is kind of torn. Again, you know how the DC fan base is when it comes to live action, but for the Suicide Squad movie, it did very well at the box office. Way better than Suicide Squad 2016. But the number one question that we always ask, is this going to be Margot Robbie's last ride as Harley Quinn? Is this Margot Robbie's last ride as Harley Quinn? Will this be the last time we see her as the famous sadistic court jester that we know and love today? Well, questions have been asked with Margot Robbie. Is this going to be her last ride as Harley Quinn? And she's always been asked that in interviews, and she said she loves the character of Harley Quinn, as we all know. She loves the character of Harley Quinn, and as of now, we don't know if this is going to be Margot Robbie's last ride as Harley Quinn. But if this is Margot Robbie's last ride as Harley Quinn, the best way to send off Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn would be to give her one last movie. One last Harley Quinn movie. And I think the best way to kind of pass the torch is to start off the third movie, right? With Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, in Gotham, and her teaming up, finally her teaming up with Poison Ivy. I think it's finally time to introduce Poison Ivy again in live action format. We got Poison Ivy in live action format with the June 20th, 1997 Batman and Robin, with Irma Thurman as Poison Ivy. But that live action version of Poison Ivy just didn't do well for me. Even though back then in 1997 the movie did incredibly well with the box office, as time goes on, Irma Thurman Poison Ivy just seems too cartoony for me. It seems too corny for me. The role, don't get me wrong, for what she was given, she played a great Poison Ivy. It's just as time went on, the movie didn't age really well, and her role just, as time goes on, just gets corny. She made Poison Ivy too cartoonish and just so geeky. It just didn't suit well. But if you make a third Harley Quinn movie, this is how you can sort of pass the torch and have a new actress play Poison Ivy and give Margot Robbie a break as Harley Quinn. Not have her give up Harley Quinn forever, but to sort of pass the torch to a new actress, or an actress that we already know, and introduce Poison Ivy. It's time to introduce Poison Ivy again in live action format. And the best way to do that is if you give Margot Robbie one last film, her own film as Harley Quinn, and kind of have Harley Quinn just kind of go on her own at the end of the third film, right? This is how I would plan it. Her third film, you would have her go off her own, do her own thing at the end of the third film, and her kind of passing sort of the torch to this new actress that's playing Poison Ivy. So that way we can give Poison Ivy the respect and love that she so rightly deserves. Then we start to get, newer characters. We start to get, more origin based stories of Poison Ivy. We start to see newer female characters in DC. If you want Margot Robbie to go out with a bang, have her do one last film as Harley Quinn. I would even as to make it a Gotham City Sirens. I did hear that James Gunn does want to do more movies in DC, and I have been hearing that he might do some movies with Gotham City Sirens. Now, have him been already directed the Suicide Squad movie, James Gunn directing Gotham City Sirens would be perfect. It would be perfect because you would have Margot Robbie returning her role as Harley Quinn. You would have a new actress playing Poison Ivy, and not only that, you would have a newer actress play as Catwoman. So not only would you get two new actresses joining the DC EU, but you would finally, this would be a perfect send-off for Margot Robbie's character, and for her to take a break and to finally introduce some new characters in the DC movie universe. And who better to do it than Poison Ivy? I mean, come on. She's intelligent, she's sarcastic, she's wicked, she's sadistic, she's powerful. It's time for her to come back in live action format. It's been way too long. It's been since June 20th, 1997 since we've seen Poison Ivy in live action format. It's time to bring her back. It's time to bring Poison Ivy back. It's time to bring her back from the ground up and give her life again. But let me know in the comments, you guys, what you guys thought about this video. Is this Margot Robbie's last ride as Harley Quinn? Do you think that Margot Robbie deserves a third Harley Quinn film? Do you think that they should finally introduce Pamela Ivy, aka Poison Ivy, into the DCEU? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'm curious to see your guys' thoughts. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. It helps out the channel a lot. As always, I'm the Screeper, and I'll see you guys next time for a brand new video.